second point I'm making now is what is most important for you to understand. All the nutrients are held in the dry matter part of feed. All right? All the nutrients, energy, protein, vitamins, they're in that dry matter. The moisture is just that moisture. Maji tu. Right? It has its own other benefits, but it doesn't have a feeding benefit in terms of a feed value. Okay? Understanding this term dry matter will allow you to be able to make better feeding decisions on your farm. And you'll see this later on as I progress, okay? So I want to put a slide up there, and you'll allow me to just pause a bit so that my friends here can be able to look at the screen. Okay. So what you see on the screen, okay? So that's a visual representation of what I'm trying to explain, okay? So you can see up there is feed. And I leave it openly feed. Feed is what you feed. It could be Napier grass, hay, it's feed, okay? That feed is split into two. One section is water or moisture. The other section is dry matter. And if you can see in the diagram there, that all those nutrients that we look for are on that dry matter section. All right? So as you're thinking feed, try and push your thinking more towards nutrients. Okay? Because maize silage is good as maize silage for a reason. It's just not because maize looks nice or Lucerne looks nice. It is that for a reason. And the reason is those nutrients. So you'll hear someone saying, oh, hiyo iko na protein mzuri, hiyo iko na nguvu ya kutoa maziwa. Isn't that the term you hear? Hiyo ukilisha hiyo inatoa maziwa. Okay. What everyone's trying to talk about is the nutrients held in that feed. Right. So I'd like us to tune our thinking more towards nutrients as compared to feed. Because you can get maize that is not properly planted, not properly taken care of, and you don't get those results which everyone thinks you should get from maize silage. All right. And someone else is feeding Napier grass and maize germ and producing more milk than you, and you're wondering, where did I miss it? Are we together? So it is the nutrients that matter, not the name of the feed. Are we together? So I see on the group there Sugar Graze and what was the other new one? Oh, sorry, Giant Napier grass, Sugar Graze, and there's Cow Candy, and so many different things that farmers want to try. You're looking for a magic bullet. Hiyo tukipiga ng'ombe. There's nothing like that. You can plant very simple things, but grow them very, very well, and they'll be able to yield the nutrients you are looking for. All right, it's all biology. You can't go to the desert on plain sand, plant something there and expect anything. You can water it till the kingdom come, eh? But if there's no microbial population in the soil to support growth of that plant, you'll get nothing. Am I talking? At the back, do you want me to repeat that? You plant whatever you're planting, don't take care of it. I think for most of you on your farms, you have a vegetable patch. Mali iko mboga ya jikoni, isn't it? Si inalimiwa. Sio? Inawekewa mbolea. But why is it that the crop which is growing to take care of your cows, I can't even walk through because of weeds? Nikiingia huko ndani nitatoka na, in Kikuyu they are called mishege, those blackjack. Imejaa namna hii kwa suruari yote. And you are claiming you have a crop because that blackjack is competing with whatever you are growing for nutrients from the soil, and it is beating because it's a very small crop. It will just take nutrients quickly grow and put the seeds and it's done. wewe unangoja tu, sijui nini unangoja. So be in your mind, use this analogy. To be a great dairy farmer, you have to be great at crop husbandry. Common sense statement. To be a great dairy farmer, you have to be great at crop husbandry. Okay, so I'm going to go back to dry matter. Okay, I want to give you a quick exercise. All right, so you have 80 kilograms of Napier grass, and I'm using Napier grass because everyone should be knowing Napier grass. I don't use more exotic things, eh? So you have 80 kilograms of Napier grass. When we took it to the laboratory, it was analyzed as having a dry matter value of 35%. All right. If you feed that to your cow, those 80 kilograms per day, how much dry matter have you given to your cow for the day in kilograms? So 80 kilograms of Napier grass here, it's assessed having 35% dry matter. Okay. So if you feed your cow and finishes all 80 kilograms, how much dry matter has it ingested for the day? Quick calculation.
$28 kilograms.
Anyone with a different answer? Do we agree with that answer? Okay, even I don't know is an answer. Okay, so he says 28 kilograms of dry matter, which is correct. So what we say is 35% is dry matter. So 65% is what? Moisture or water. What we don't need. All right. Remember, all the nutrients are in the dry matter part. Okay. So sometimes when you're especially people who purchase feeds, okay, people who purchase feed, you need to be very careful what it is you're purchasing. My friends from Trans Nzoia over there, and their hay and their Mr. Gary, okay, when he transports his those things from a town near him to his farm, he's transporting very little water. All right, because hay would be 80 to 90% dry matter. Okay, so he's transporting maybe 10%, 10 to 20% of it is moisture. Whereas in my other friend here who's buying maize silage, you are in Narok. In fact, Narok is a good example. I want to use, you're in Ukambani and you're buying maize from Nakuru. All right. It's got a dry matter value of 26%. How much water have you carried from Nakuru to Machakos? Are you seeing how it sounds ridiculous? Isn't it? Isn't it? It sounds ridiculous because you're carrying so much water for what?
Sorry, now that I understand this dry matter issue, I just want to take you back to rumen and microbes. Let's say I'm like my friend from Trans Nzoia. I'm feeding my cow hay, and I'm mixing it with the Napier grass. Does it affect the type of microbes there, or microbes? I think you mentioned something about protein. Is just, they just develop by the kind of feed you are feeding, or does that have an impact? If you feed that, then you feed maybe silage. Does that affect the microbes and the feed absorbability?
Who wants to answer him? Because I think that was amongst the very first things I said about feed consistency, isn't it? Okay. What you're trying? Oh yeah. Now, when we look at feed, we don't look at each individual thing. When it's all cut up and put in the trough, that is what we are talking about. Okay. So you may have a high moisture feed mixed with a low moisture feed. Then the dry matter value goes? Of the total feed. You hear TMR, total mix rations. In a very simple way, ukiweka majani kwa trough, umekata napier grass, umemix na hay, ukamwagia unga, ikakorogwa namna hii kwa trough, hiyo ndio TMR. Don't be made to usiogope. It's a total mixed ration. You've mixed hay with napier and maize germ. And that's what you wanted to feed, isn't it? So that's what we will be assessing. If you take to the lab, they'll ask you, bring us a feed sample. Don't make the mistake of taking your hay, napier, and maize germ. Mix it up the way you would normally mix it, take a sample and send to the lab. Then you get for your ration whatever values you'll be looking for your ration. Okay, that's as a by the way for those who want to pay more attention to nutrition. Okay, so there are certain terms you'll come across. If you take your feed for analysis, you'll notice they'll give you results. Who's taken something to the lab before? Feeds to be analyzed to any lab? Anybody? Okay, so the results you'll tend to get, like for energy, they'll tell you something like there's 13 megajoules per kilogram DM. Okay, 13 megajoules per kilogram of dry matter. So this maize you've transported from Nakuru to Machakos, they will ignore all the water, then calculate that on that 26% that's left. I think you're starting to appreciate this dry matter thing, eh? Because if you don't understand it, you cannot make certain feeding decisions. You on your farm, maybe you have 2 farms, okay? You might have a farm here and another farm 30 kilometers away. But then the climatic conditions on that side allow you to do certain things you cannot do on this side. So you have to make a decision what to grow where. Okay, so some of those thoughts start to play at the back of your mind. What should I do where? For example, how to make decisions based on feeds and costs and the attendant issues that come with it.